in numerous honors, including the U.S. Department of State Meritorious Honor Award, the Soren Optimist Woman of Distinction Award, Arizona PTA Honorary Life Membership, and the Children's Action Alliance Phoenix Champion for Children Award. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Donna Davis.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Donna Davis, a member of Maricopa Community College's Governing Board representing District 4. On behalf of the Governing Board, it is my pleasure to welcome you as we celebrate the power of education, partnerships, and workforce strategies that strengthen Arizona's economic development. I would like to thank the Arizona Department of Homeland Security for its continued commitment to Maricopa Community Colleges and our students. Additionally, I would like to acknowledge and thank Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs for joining us today for today's grand opening of the Central Regional Security Operations Center. Additionally, I extend my appreciation to our college leaders, Dr. Tiffany Hernandez and Dr. Janice Schwartz, for their support of these partnerships. Arizona continues to experience rapid growth across many sectors, including technology. The state's pioneering spirit has created a reputation for testing and scaling new technologies. Greater Phoenix is home to some of the nation's largest tech companies, like Amazon, IBM, Intel, Microchip, and more. The Valley is now one of the nation's fastest growing tech hubs. Today, cybersecurity is no longer a niche function, but a core business requirement and is one of tech's fastest growing fields. We often say Maricopa Community College moves at the speed of industry, developing high quality academic programs and training opportunities that provide employers with a highly skilled talent pipeline. To deliver this well-trained workforce, the tech sector needs Glendale Community College. To deliver the well-trained workforce, the tech center needs Glendale Community College opened the Gaucho Security Operations Center, the nation's first community college intern-run security operations center, in 2023. To date, GSOC has partnered with local municipalities and school districts, including the town of Wickenburg, Wickenburg Unified School District, and the city of Litchfield Park. Thanks to our rural and local partners, GSOC student interns receive 300 hours of paid job-related experience. As part of their roles, students monitor networks and operating systems, detect issues, and report out to their clients. By integrating education with workforce development, we are providing our students with real-world training experiences. At Maricopa Community Colleges, 90% of our students are Arizona residents. When a student graduates, they go on to lead, serve, innovate, and tackle tough IT issues in the communities we call home. The GSOC is just one example of how we are providing competency-based learning that leads to a career-ready pipeline of talent. As Arizona's largest workforce training provider, Maricopa Community College is proud to expand our partnership with the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. By combining our resources and talent, Glendale Community College's Gaucho Security Operations Center, along with Paradise Valley Community College, will serve as the Central Regional Security Operations Center. Through our efforts, we are expanding access to the next generation of cybersecurity professionals by providing students with paid on-the-job training that builds confidence, helps familiarize learners with industry expectations, and most importantly, addresses regional workforce needs. To everyone who helped make this partnership possible, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Davis, for those wonderful comments and support. The next two speakers serve as presidents of GCC and PVCC, respectively. Dr. Tiffany Hernandez started her role as the president of Glendale Community College in the summer of 2023, which was at the same time we were holding the grand opening for the GSOC. So she put in there with fire, I think. Prior to returning home to Arizona, Dr. Hernandez served as the vice president for student success in San Antonio College and San Antonio College's accreditation liaison to the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges. Dr. Hernandez holds a bachelor's degree in Russian language from the University of Arizona, a Juris Doctorate from the University of Utah College of Law, and a doctorate of philosophy in criminal justice from the Texas State University. Dr. Janice Schwartz began her role as a president of Paradise Valley Community College in July 2024 and served as the interim president from August 23 to July of 24. And the Vice President of Student Affairs from February of 2019 to October of 2023. Prior to her tenure at PVCC, Dr. Schwartz served as a Dean of Student Affairs and Dean of Pathways and Student Success at Front Range Community College in Colorado. Dr. Schwartz holds a doctorate of philosophy in higher education and student affairs leadership from the University of Northern Colorado, a Master of Arts degree in student development and post-secondary education from the University of Iowa, and a Bachelor's of Arts degree in psychology from Central College in Iowa. I would now like to welcome to the stage Dr. Hernandez.
Ooh, good morning, everybody. Wow, it looks great to be up here looking at you. You all look great today. We're so happy to welcome everyone to our beautiful campus as we recognize and celebrate the grand opening of our Regional Security Operations Center, which is an innovation that is critically important to our communities around the state of Arizona. I want to pause and welcome some elected officials who are here today. State Senator Frank Carroll, also Majority Whip, my bad, yes, Majority. I should better get that right. Sir, thank you. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. That's right. And our very own City of Glendale Vice Mayor, Ray Melnar. Thank you, sir, for coming. 7 years ago, members of the Glendale Community College Business and IT Department saw an interesting and troubling trend in cybersecurity, mainly that we did not have enough trained cybersecurity technicians and professionals to be able to meet the need of the growing threat in our communities. So in doing so, they started to create a program which has been helping to fill the gap of trained cybersecurity specialists that are desperately needed across our workforce today. At the same time, they saw that rural municipalities were in need of cyber support that met the needs of their own budgets. So this was the impetus of the Gaucho Security Operations Center, where student interns who are here today get real-world, workplace-ready experience by serving towns like Wickenburg and Litchfield Park to help them stay secure from cyber threats. And Rochelle was right. This is a full circle moment for me. I was standing on this stage within maybe 2 weeks of arriving here as the president of the college to introduce the Gaucho Security Operations Center and see how much it's already grown. I'm just so proud of all of the work that our students and our team has done to make this happen. The history of innovation and problem solving in the cyber world brings us here today, where we're excited and proud to team up with Paradise Valley Community College and the Arizona Department of Homeland Security to launch the Regional Security Operations Center. To provide us with a little more information about the future program, I would like to now introduce and bring up Dr. Janice Schwartz, my esteemed colleague and president of Paradise Valley Community College.
Thank you, Dr. Hernandez. It is my absolute pleasure to be with you all today. I also want to thank Governor Katie Hobbs for supporting this effort and for the Arizona Department of Homeland Security for their leadership in implementing this Regional Security Operations Center. This initiative represents a strong collaboration between higher education, state government, cybersecurity professionals, and regional stakeholders. It also demonstrates a shared commitment to Arizona's cyber resilience and workforce development. Paradise Valley Community College is proud to join Glendale Community College in being on the forefront of creating learning opportunities for our students in the areas of cybersecurity and maintaining mission-critical networking and service systems while also training students on the needs of business and government. The center represents an investment in Arizona's long-term cybersecurity readiness and collaborative response capabilities. The component of this partnership that I'm most excited about is the opportunity it creates for students to gain exposure to real-world cybersecurity operations, threat analysis, and regional security collaboration. And it was great to see you all today at your stations. That was awesome. This positions our students at Glendale Community College and Paradise Valley Community College to enter high-demand cybersecurity careers with meaningful operational experience that could lead to opportunities for them in the future. We thought somebody was going to get a job today while we were listening to them, so nice work. Through this center, our students will have opportunity to protect local government, K-12 school districts, our tribal communities, and others from cyber threats. As a part of the Maricopa Community College District, our colleges have historically been agile and trusted partner in addressing workforce readiness, and today's celebration is another example of how our colleges are responding, focusing on preparing our future workforce while also serving our broader community. Thank you again for the opportunity to be with you today, to be able to partner with you, and for your support in opening of this Regional Security Operations Center.
Thank you, Dr. Schwartz. We're excited to welcome our next guest speaker to share comments, the Glendale Vice Mayor, Ray Malner. Vice Mayor Malner is actively engaged in regional and local leadership, including the Code Review Committee, Council Business Review Committee, Audit Committee, Maricopa Association of Government Economic Development Committee, Westmark Executive Board, Arizona League of Cities and Towns Policy Committee, and the Westmark School District Governing Board. The Vice Mayor has extensive experience in finance, accounting, information systems, business management, government affairs, and facility maintenance. Prior to his service with the City Council, Vice Mayor Malner owned and operated a valley-wide flooring maintenance and restoration company for 28 years, following a successful career in corporate accounting and finance management. Help me welcome to the stage Glendale's Vice Mayor, Ray Malner.
Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to be able to join you here today for this grand opening of the Regional Security Operation, kindly known as RSOC. I want to welcome everyone here to Glendale. We're really thrilled to have Glendale Community College in our city and all that it provides economically and otherwise. It's a proud moment here at Glendale Community College and for our state to have this opening. The Central RSOC represents Arizona's continued commitment to strengthening our cybersecurity defense while building the skilled workforce we need in the future. And as you all know, last year they created a partnership with Pima Community College and really started this program with ASU, I believe, helped coordinate that. And it was so successful that now it's expanding. Now first, here we have this model in what we call Central Region, which is at Paradise Valley, as well as Glendale Community College. So again, welcome everyone from all those locations. For Glendale, the center reflects a commitment to innovation, to preparing residents for high-demand careers. It strengthens our community, supports our institutions, and it strengthens our community. And it provides for the next generation of cybersecurity professionals. And I know we have many of those here today, so welcome. This is our future. We know the critical nature of cybersecurity. We've all been exposed to it, and we know how important it is. To the students, you're stepping into a field where your skills will help protect the system we all rely on. We're proud to have you leading the way. And to our partners at Arizona Department of Homeland Security, the Community College, Thank you for all your collaboration to make this come forth. It's an exciting day for GCC, Glendale, and Arizona cybersecurity future. Congratulations for everyone for making this great thing happen today. Thanks again.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We really appreciate your support, and we're just as excited as you are. The Arizona Department of Homeland Security has been working diligently with our colleges to bring this program to fruition, led by Director of Arizona Department of Homeland Security, Dr. Kim O'Connor. Dr. O'Connor served a nearly 11-year appointment to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in leadership positions such as DHS Executive Secretary, Chief of Staff at the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Senior Advisor to the Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and Chief of Staff of the Office of Counter-Narcotics Enforcement. Sorry, that's a lot of words. Dr. O'Connor has also awarded the Department of Homeland Security Distinguished Service Medal in 2017 and 2023. Prior to her appointment at the Department of Homeland Security, Dr. O'Connor was the Director of the Division for Substance Abuse Policy for the state of Arizona. Her career history also includes the Arizona Department of Corrections, the Arizona Supreme Court, and the Maricopa County Superior Court. Please help me welcome GCC alumni, AZDOHS Director, Dr. Tim O'Connor.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is wonderful to look out and see so many familiar faces here with us today. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Rochelle. But good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here on such an incredibly important and exciting day. I would like to first thank our special guests who are with us today, Rochelle Hall, Donna Davis, Dr. Hernandez, Dr. Schwartz, and of course, Vice Mayor Molnar. Can we give them all a big round of applause? I also want to extend my deepest appreciation for Senator Carroll for his continued leadership. His support for public safety and education has been instrumental. We remain grateful for his dedication and support for our Arizona communities. Thank you to Senator Frank Carroll for joining us today, and if we could give Senator Carroll another round of applause. As a proud Glendale Community College alumni, it was nearly 35 years ago that I was actually a student here on this campus. It's wonderful to return, and I'm thrilled to be back here today wearing Gaucho red to acknowledge the importance of the partnership between the Arizona Department of Homeland Security, Maricopa County Community College District, Glendale Community College, and the Paradise Valley Community College. Today marks a very important milestone, not only for our newest cohort of RSOC interns, but also for the state of Arizona as a whole. I am sure that it is not lost on anyone in this crowd just how essential cybersecurity is when it comes to protecting the communities we live in and all the people of the state. We live in an increasingly connected digital world. Nearly everything we rely on, from juggling work to protecting our personal lives, requires a strong cyber defense. But the devices and technology we use can become vulnerable without the necessary cyber protections. Many do not realize just how essential that technology is until something goes wrong. One bad day can have wide-ranging effects that can impact our state agencies and local government services, the utilities that power our homes, the water that we drink, and the businesses that ensure that our communities continue to thrive. And that is why now, more than ever, we must bolster our state's cyber defenses. One way we are doing that is through the Regional Security Operations Centers. Last October, the state launched the first ever RSOC with Pima Community College, the University of Arizona, and the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. Today, though, we are able to celebrate another milestone, the grand opening of the Central RSOC. That is why today it makes it so exciting. The RSOC model, we know it's working. What originally started right here at Glendale Community College as the GSOC has inspired a model for the Arizona Department of Homeland Security to be able to replicate across the state. And that has led us to this very moment. Through the RSOC, we are creating a cyber workforce of the future. I look at all the interns there. This is a cyber workforce of our future right here in Arizona. Students are getting the hands-on experience protecting the communities that they live in. And so as a state, we are doing everything in our power to make sure that we are protected from one bad day. Thank you all for being here today. I hope you have a chance to take a tour and see the great work that the students are doing. And now I would like to introduce Laura Kaliha from the Arizona Department of Homeland Security.
Thank you. My name is Laura Kaliha. Like she mentioned, I'm a project manager contractor here with the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. I would like to simply just take this time to introduce you to the next section of this show we have on for you today. And I'd like to take the moment to welcome Josh Kuipers. Josh is our RSOC manager. He's going to be managing all RSOC locations. I say going to be, he currently is. And then I'd like to bring on Eric Yepes. Go ahead and come on up. Eric is currently the Pima County Community College site lead, one of two, due to its rural location. Ed Varela, please come on up. Ed is also the second site lead located at Pima County Community College, like I mentioned, due to its rural location. Chad Stroot, our very own GCC site lead. There we go. And then Amir Judah. There we are. Amir Judah is the site lead over at Paradise Valley Community College. And again, here we have the RSOC manager and all of our site leads. They'd like to take some time today to simply just tell you a little bit about what is the RSOC, what do we do, why are we here, and what we should be celebrating. So I'm going to turn it over to you all. Feel free to take your seats. Turn on the mics, please.
I'll stand up here.
Okay, and this is a mic if you want that.
Can I talk into this one?
Yep, you sure
Cool.
can. You can move it up so you can even hear better.
I'm going to have to move it up. I'm too tall. Hello, esteemed Arizonans. How are you guys doing today? I want to first off thank Rochelle Hall for all of your continued support and being very instrumental in launching the RSOC here at GCC, as well as being the one of the think tanks that came up with this on this stage so long ago. So thank you so much. Round of applause for Glendale and Rochelle. So the Regional Security Operations Center, or RSOC as we like to call it, is not a communal foot apparel. It is in fact a security operations center. The Security Operations Center is instrumental in providing a critical cybersecurity protection to our communities and the communities that our interns inhabit. I want to go ahead and define it for you guys here today, describe what it does, its vision, its purpose, and actually invite each one of the site leads who are currently running the teams at each one of the RSOCs to also talk about their perspective and a little bit of what they've done, because this has been a one-team effort, right? It is not one person, from the top down, Director O'Connor, Deputy Director, Ryan Murray, down to the Arizona SOC manager, David Kernick, myself, everyone, down to the interns. We are all collaborative and open to how we speak and define what we do daily. So what is the RSOC? As a regional security operations center, we monitor, alert, and secure threats in each one of our regions. These are threats that come from public entities within the communities that our interns are a part of. We separated out by region, mostly so we could open up multiple SOCs and we can have multiple interns and give this opportunity to as many people as we can. We would love to do it with every community college, but we've been fortunate enough to do it with 3 so far, which is great. So do staff our RSOCs with regional students. So every one of my site leads has been a student in one of their regions, community colleges or universities, and then all of the students are, or all the interns or cyber interns are students of these colleges as well here in Arizona, continuing to get their degrees in cybersecurity. Whilst getting their degrees in cybersecurity, we're offering them the incredible experience of hands-on learning, of being able to sit down in front of the threat and stop them daily. And I mean that. It truly is a daily thing that occurs, right? As Director O'Connor has mentioned, the world is ever more interconnected daily, right? We get smarter and smarter devices. Everything becomes more connected to the internet. Somebody has to defend that, right? And that somebody is going to have to be the people, right? And why we start small. We wanted to start at the community college level, finding that passion that those people have, and employing that passion to grow and build skills that Arizona is going to need tomorrow, right? Even today, we can say they needed it yesterday even, right? So there is a growing demand for cybersecurity professionals. And that has been explained by every single one of the very incredible individuals who've been up here before me, right? And I will say to you as well, is that the cybersecurity threats are growing. The need for cybersecurity professionals to address those threats is also growing exponentially. And this is a drop in the bucket, but it is a very significant one. And I think that is probably one of the best things that we are doing currently in cybersecurity in Arizona right now, and I would say in the nation. We are leading the nation in this matter, and we're setting a standard that I believe that we can copy into all states, hopefully. So what is the vision of the RSOC? The vision of the RSOC is to provide that critical cybersecurity to our public institutions. These are towns, counties, schools. These are people who maybe we have one person who's taking care of 5 schools, like the actual campuses themselves. We're providing backup for that person. We're providing that critical support that they need in moments where they need it. And we do that daily. And we do it because it's making Arizona better. And at the flip side of that, we are actually able to develop the workforce by having the interns train and they're receiving that on-demand skill of actually being in the hot seat against these threats. We want to create a statewide equity for cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is becoming one of those things that everybody should expect on every device that you have. When you walk into a public institution and you connect to the Wi-Fi, you should feel secure. We want to make sure that every single entity that we have in the state has the ability to meet that demand and to meet that compliance. We want to build bridges to our communities. We want to make and weave a web that allows us to bring people together. And we've done this in some right together through places like the Arizona Cybersecurity Summit that we have in December. We receive many Arizonans together to come together, all these public institutions. But at the more intimate level, my site leads are able to speak to these community leaders daily and speak to them and connect them and help share these resources and protect each other, because only through open communication can we truly stop these cyber threats from occurring proactively. And on top of that, at the very end of all of it, our product, which is our cybersecurity intern. At the very end of their internship, they come out away as a cybersecurity professional with 1 to 2 years of experience, with the critical skills that they need to join a workforce that is growing in skill need and growing in demand. And to bring all that together, that is only one part of this large spectrum that we have that's going to create a very cyber resilient Arizona in the future. So currently, our RSOCs are covering our state, local, tribal, territorial communities. Like I said, it's county law enforcement, it's rural emergency services, and K through 12 schools. These are critical places that not a lot of people would think are under attack by advanced persistent threats, but they do occur. They are and can be targets. Just because they're a little guy doesn't make them more or less of a target than, say, a bank. Right? These entities are health offices, libraries, school districts, and clerical services. We also provide a critical second pair of eyes in all these, observing and alerting to the things that we see in their environment. And we get them to them with incredible analysis that they can use as a first step to secure their own infrastructure. And we do this, like I said, daily. these are the metrics for this year, too far. And I want to tell you that this model does work. This is the body of work that the interns have done as of last week. These are, I'm sure I could probably get live stats, but we got to take pictures because it's slides. Over 10,000 detections across all of our endpoints have been worked by cybersecurity interns, right? These are people who are going to be the professionals, the next professionals. Every single one of those detections is a new opportunity to learn something different about a new threat that is emergent, right? So a lot of these are emergent threats, things that haven't been seen that we have to address and we have to learn to analyze and address quickly. That is a kind of skill that will only benefit the workforce day one when they get into a new job. Having somebody who can take a threat and go, oh no, I've seen this before. We can take care of this, no problem. That kind of confidence is going to help make a cyber resilient Arizona. And it makes all of the colleges and Arizona Department of Homeland Security look really good because we're providing those people to the workforce. And that's a point of pride. And we've already had people hired out from the RSOC. So I want to go ahead and invite Eric Japez up here. He was the first RSOC site lead down in Tucson, Arizona for our South Regional RSOC. We've been active down there as an RSOC since June of 2024. And so to share his experience of starting a team and leading a team, I'd like to invite him to come up and talk a little bit about what he's done. So, Eric, if you will.
Thank you. So, hello everyone. So yeah, my name is Eric Japez. I was the first site lead. Like Josh said, we started in June of 2025, and it's been quite a trip. So one thing that I wanted to talk about is that, first of all, I'm very proud of this program. I believe it is very successful, and I believe that it can be even more successful as we grow and develop this into something larger. But I want to talk to you about the experience that our interns have talked to us about. And this is very important to me because I also graduated from Pima Community College. I understand how difficult it is to get your foot in the door, right? To get that first job, get that first internship. And some of the things that our interns told me really resonated with me. And that is about expectations. A lot of them did not expect to be doing real life work. That's what we hired them for. But obviously, sometimes internships come with expectations of, for instance, be delivering coffee to the real analysts, right? That is not at all what we do. And one of our interns told us that his mom told him, don't be disappointed if all you're doing is like printing things and delivering coffee for people. First of all, we don't use paper at all, right? So there's no need for any of that. It would be nice to have somebody delivering coffee, but that's not the case. They're doing real security. They do real monitoring, real reporting, the real work. Another expectation is that they thought they were going to be just shadowing real analysts, and they never got to do that at the beginning, actually. Well, maybe actually we may have scheduled some shadowing sessions with some of the AZDOHS analysts, but that was not the intention. The intention is you sit on the computer, you learn to use the tool, and you do real analysis. You report it to the customers, you provide support to these customers, and we help them remediate security issues. That is the real work at the RSOC. Another one is, it'll take a long time to learn how to do the job, right? A lot of people expected that it would take us like 6 months, maybe, to get our cyber interns up to a level where they could operate by themselves. That was not at all the case. We were up and running 3 weeks into the job, maybe. I may be wrong about that. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month at the most. And we were doing the job. Our cyber interns were doing the job. And something that is not up here, but I was very pleasantly surprised about, and I'm very proud of our cyber intern who's no longer with us because she found a job, Kenzie, who expected to get a job starting at a very low pay. Not only was that not the case, the range that was offered to her, her actual offer was above the range that was being offered for this job. So that's another expectation broken. And we're doing well. I'm expecting that we will lose a couple more cyber interns in the coming months, I hope. And one of them was my peer, Eduardo Varela, who started as a cyber intern and then became a side lead with me. He was the first one to go. So would you like to talk to us about your experience?
Yeah, so hello everyone, I'm Eduardo Varela. I was actually one of the cyber interns in the first cohort, and it's been a trip. A lot has happened, I've grown so much, not just technically. I couldn't imagine even a year ago if you told me I would be on this stage. I'd be like, no, I'm only doing technical work, you're not gonna get me up here. But it's not just the technical work, I'm so excited that I've been able to learn not just from Eric, I've learned from Josh, I've learned from David, I've learned from everyone here in Phoenix, and everyone has been so welcoming, and they have been so kind and respectful, and they want to see Arizona thrive. They want to see not just the bare minimum, they want to see us grow and look towards the future. So specifically, what I've enjoyed about my unique experience is I know exactly what the cyber interns are doing. I did it myself for many months. So having that experience of being able to understand where common pitfalls may occur for a cyber intern, as well as not getting into certain rabbit holes of how to improve yourself, has been really beneficial for the team because I have been in that headspace before, and to be able to provide that input and guidance to them has been amazing. I've seen so many of them just grow and develop beyond the technical skills like myself. They have learned how to chat with other people, how to network, and for a lot of us, this would be our first full-time position beyond part-time work. So it was a big jump into the job force and the workforce as a whole. So beyond just the skills you gain technically, there's this immersion into the workforce that you gain from being in it and being immersed and chatting with individuals. So that way, once your internship is over, it's not going to be surprising when you start working at another position. You're going to be used to interacting with individuals. So that has been a great component of this internship. Another thing I want to bring up is the hands-on and technical experience. Eric already touched on it briefly, but I was expecting to shadow and watch people use our tooling. No, I got into it within the very first week. I learned how to use the tooling. I'm still learning, everyone has to grow, but you would expect, or I expected that I would be waiting for months and months, and that's not the case. I was actively engaging, not just with the tooling, but with our customers, and interacting and interfacing. That's been my absolute favorite part of just engaging and seeing where we can help individuals in Arizona where they need assistance. And that also leads me into my point of, because of my unique position of working with Eric as the second site lead, I've also had the awesome opportunity to introduce Chad, and I understand where he could be coming from starting up a new site because I was in his shoes. So if you would like to introduce yourself, Chad.
Thanks, Ed. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chad Strout. I'm the site lead for the GCC location for the Central RSOCs. So a little bit about myself. I was the site lead for GSOC, the Gaucho Security Operations Center. So, that was also a student-led run SOC. So, a lot of the experience that came from there was actually pretty beneficial as far as our transition from GSOC to RSOC. And so, today I kind of want to just go over an overview of, some of the challenges and successes that we had as far as, that transition process. And so, just to start off with, it's been incredible just working with the Southern RSOC team over here, working with Homeland in general. Everyone has been incredibly supportive. And I truly do feel like we are just a very close community that wants to protect our clients in the state, right? But yeah, during the initial journey of transitioning, there was a lot of talks between GCC and Homeland as far as, working with the various different departments, right? Working with legal, working with human resources and IT. And, there was a lot of discussion as far as, oh, well, how is the room? How is that going to be used? How will we onboard our cyber interns and so forth, right? Understandably, this was, a little complex, throughout this entire process. So this shifted a little bit initially, our start date. But we did start working back in March, and honestly, it's been very pleasurable experience, right? But before we started, though, we did have some concerns that we were asking ourselves, right? Because working at the GSOC, we had our own, tools in place, our own processes, and so we would need to transition over to the tools that the state was using, and as well as their procedures. And so, a lot of questions of, the skills that we had from GSOC, how transferable was that to transitioning over to the RSOC, right? If we knew where to find certain data with our previous tool, but could we find that with the new tool, right? And so as we got onboarded and we were working with Homeland, working with the Southern RSOC team, they've already been working for close to a year now, right? So they had a lot of procedures in place. They knew how to use the tools. And honestly, with their help, it was a very smooth transition. I want to say we were definitely up and running within like the first couple weeks. So, kind of moving forward from that, moving on to like a lot of the successes, right? Because those were the initial concerns or challenges, which were very small. Nothing really to be too concerned about, right, in the long scheme of things, looking back on it. So, kind of moving on to the successes of, this transition, because of working with Homeland, working with the Southern RSOC, and then also our cyber interns, because they had that foundational cybersecurity knowledge through their coursework, through their degree program, they were very, very quickly able to pick up on the tools, pick up on the procedures, and, do that real work for our clients, right? And so, from there, this entire journey has been very gratifying, just not only because we are helping the state become more secure, but I'm also seeing that growth within our interns as well. We started back in March, and what is it now, like end of June? I can't tell you the level of confidence I've seen from our interns just grow throughout the past couple of months, and I'm very proud of the work that they're doing. They are doing the real work as far as helping keep our communities safe. And, throughout this entire process, it's one team, right? We have one mission. We are helping secure our communities. And, thanks to the Southern RSOC and, the lessons learned from their experiences, we were very quickly able to get onboarded. And so kind of pivoting from there, we've been working with Paradise Valley to get them up and running. And from my understanding, they got up much quicker than we did. So, and that's just because, we were able to work out all the different kinks. And so I would like to introduce all of you to Amir Judah, who is the PVCC site lead.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. Well, I like to stand while I talk, so, but you guys look great from here, so. Okay, well, my name is Amir Judah, and I'm the newest slash youngest site lead that was hired. I'm here to talk to you about 3 points. And the main point is building a new RSOC, but it deviates into 3 points, which are leading the PVCC RSOC, the RSOC struggles, and the empowered impact. Now, as for the leading PVCC RSOC, our operational foundation needed to align with all the other RSOCs, which is South RSOC and GCC, which means we had to schedule numerous shadowing sessions, a lot of training sessions and I want to thank all 3 of these guys and their teams because they helped us go up and running in probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And there's no I, me, myself in our team, there's we, and that's all thanks to Josh. One team, one mission, that's pretty much the phrase that he says every single day. The RSOC struggles. Now, I don't know if some of you know, some of you don't, but the hiring process for the RSOC was statewide. So some people came in from GCC, some people came in from PVCC, some people came from GCU, all over the place. Some people have backgrounds of IT, some cybersecurity, some computer science with emphasis in cybersecurity. So how do we narrow this gap? Well, we had to build a plan, and we used all the tools and resources to bridge that gap, and we were able to get that, and I can confidently say that we've been operating for a month now, and almost everyone is on the same page, and everyone on the same experience. As for the empowered impact, we've been talking about these cyber interns for the last 3 hours. Who are these cyber interns? Well, if I can have all the cyber interns stand up for me, for PCC, GCC, and PVCC. So our great leadership, this program, took a big risk on each single one of these guys. Now, I'm here to tell you, and I'm confident about this, that this risk has paid off. Now, these people are protecting our communities. They're doing it every day. And I can confidently say that they're not only going to be a great SOC analyst or cybersecurity analyst or whatever job they apply to, but they're also going to be great leaders in the future. Talking about leaders, I'm going to give it back to Josh and go for it.
Thank you, Dave. Real quick, can I get a round of applause for my team here, please? I'm very honored to be up here representing everybody who just stood up and everybody here on stage, as well as all of the leaders who have empowered me to lead the RSOC. The RSOC is working currently, and up behind me I have a few testimonials from some of our community members that we've helped in the past. There's been numerous incidences, numerous moments in time where these individuals have told us all the great things that the RSOC had done for them. Unfortunately, only a very few of them wrote it down, so I can only put a couple up here. But that being said, the model is working. We are doing this every day, right? And when I talk about the one team, one mission that I do mention every day, the one team I talk about is us, me and you guys, Arizona, right? We're here to protect ourselves as much as we can. We're empowering the next generation of leaders to lead other individuals into the workforce to protect us, and we're doing it daily. And our success is determined on all of the factors that you've heard on today: open communication, collaboration, making sure that we are empowering individuals to make decisions, to talk when they see something wrong. You see something, say something. And we do this because we want success. We want a better Arizona. We want a secure community. And so I want to go ahead and thank you guys for being here. I'm going to go ahead and introduce David Kernick to come up here and lead a panel. Thank you so much for being here today, and go Gaucho, right?
Why don't you guys come on up, have a seat. I have a mic here. Testing. Testing. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Okay. My name is David Kernick. I am the statewide security operations manager for the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. And basically what that means is I have a responsibility for security operations, which includes supporting these gentlemen and gentleladies in the RSOC today. I'm really humbled by the drive and the talent that these guys bring into this. I mean, we're pretty picky, and we pick just the best people that we can to get into this. So I guess it kind of makes it a little bit easy on this. But if you've never worked for really motivated young people that really love something and want to do it, it's quite a different experience, and that has a lot to do with our success. And I'm invited up here to ask some questions, and hopefully you can get some of that experience that I have every day with them as well. Okay. So Eric Jippes, let's start with you. Please introduce yourself and explain to the audience what the South RSOC is and what you do there.
Sure. First of all, thank you for still calling me young. I appreciate that. So my name is Eric Jippes, and I was the first site lead with the RSOC program. I'm currently one of 2 site leads with the South Regional Security Operations Center, as you've met already my peer, Eduardo Varela, who started as a cyber intern. And what I started doing is very different to what we're doing now. So when we first started, we were trying to figure out how to make this happen. How do we get a bunch of students to monitor and produce valuable intelligence to our customers, right? I personally wasn't very skeptical of this because I was a student as well, and I know that you can come out of college with a lot of knowledge, and it's a matter of of somebody taking maybe a risk on you, or somebody taking willing to give you the opportunity to show what you can do. So at the beginning, we were very determined to show that students can indeed provide value to the community. So at the beginning, a lot of people will think that there will be a lot of training, right? The training was throwing the interns into the fire and having them figure it out. So the beginning was actually not a whole lot of hand-holding, but we were paying attention, and we were seeing where that would take us. And there was training provided. Like, there's training that you have to do, absolutely. But it was definitely more learn while doing the job. And the RSOC manager, Josh, was heavily involved at the beginning of the RSOC as well, in the South RSOC, basically doing what a second site lead would do. And we were both trying to figure out where are we taking this. And after a few months, we realized that we got this. Like, students can do this. We can monitor, we can report on these incidents, and we can provide support to our customers. So now we're looking for ways to better help those customers. So now we're talking to our customers, asking them, where are your gaps that we can fill for you? And we're starting to be more intentional with each customer on what we provide when we're reporting incidents or small security things that we need to talk to them about. We're being more intentional as to what information we're providing to each one individually according to their needs.
Thank you. Continue with you, Eric. What do the cyber interns do at the RSOC?
So a day in the life, you come in, obviously you check email, you do all these administrative things that you typically do in any other job, but we have a dashboard. For those of you who are in the industry, obviously we use an EDR/XDR, and we use these tools which label things that happen on a system or a network, kind of like an antivirus, but way more complex than that, right? It's way bigger than that. We review these entries in this EDR, and we pull information from these systems, and we contextualize it. So we put the human mind to compare different events that happen in a device or in a collection of devices or in a whole network to try to determine what it is. So everybody's really into AI these days, right? And automation is awesome, but the reality is that we still have not been able to automate the ability of the human mind to contextualize something that is happening. So that is a key thing that our cyber interns do. They provide the human element, they contextualize what a lot of our tools are saying, and they determine if something is a true positive, a false positive, what is the level of criticality that should be assigned to it, and basically triage. How do you choose what needs your attention immediately and what can wait? And that is what we offer to our customers, as well as lots of report writing, right? We put everything in writing, we send it to our customers, and then if they have any questions, we can even jump on a call with them, and whoever the main cyber intern that was working a detection, as we call them, gets on a phone call with them and explains what they've seen and points them in the right direction if they need help continuing their investigation.
Thank you. Moving on to Mabel. Introduce yourself first, but then tell us, even though today is the official hard launch, you've been on the ground since March. What has the past 4 months been like for you?
Hello everyone. My name is Mabel Pedkowitz. I just graduated from GCC here in fall of 25 with my cybersecurity degree. The past 4 months have been an absolute whirlwind. To say this has been chaotic would be an understatement, but in a good way, honestly. There's just been so much to learn, whether that's just grappling with the tools that we use or just putting our knowledge to real practice. It has been absolutely incredible, and I can tell not just by myself, but my teammates, we've grown so much in such a short time. And it is just extremely exciting, and it's really, really gratifying work too. One of my favorite things about this job in particular is that we are helping our local communities. I get to see the city that I have grown up in and protect them, right? And so it just feels really, really great to get to do that on a local level like this.
Mabel, where have you seen your biggest growth?
Wow, there's a lot that I could say, honestly, on that front. Just to put it broadly, like I said, it's just applying everything that we've learned in school to real life. When you learn about these concepts in a textbook or through lecture, it only makes so much sense until you actually get to put your hands on the problem and see how it actually interacts in real life. I think that's been my biggest source of growth is, just really putting my knowledge to the test and making it work in real life.
Thank you. And Peyton, moving on to you. Introduce yourself and tell us how it actually feels when you're actively tracking and stopping a potential cyber threat.
How loud am I? Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Peyton Sinclair. I am an intern analyst at Paradise Valley Community College, and I am graduating with my degree in cybersecurity from U of A this summer. So, what does it feel like when I'm actively tracking down a threat in an environment? It is both very nerve-wracking and very exciting because you're seeing something inside a system and you know it can cause damage or it can hurt the environments of the customers. You don't know what it's doing, where it is at, and you're chasing it down. It's both exciting, it's very nerve-wracking at the same time. And once you figure it out, once you finish, once you are able to remediate the problem, it's very, very relieving.
Thank you. Ivan, you also please introduce yourself, but you have a really interesting perspective because you spent time in the GSOC before stepping in your current role at the GSCC RSOC. What was that transition like for you?
Hi, yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Ivan Espino. I am an intern analyst at GCC, and I also have my degree in cybersecurity associates and working on my IT only because there isn't one for cyber yet here, but I have heard that there is one coming, and I'm definitely going to be doing that as well. Yeah, so I was actually very fortunate enough to be in the GSOC, and I was able to learn how to create a workflow, learn where to start, kind of what to look for. And I was also fortunate enough to have Chad Stroud as my site lead, where he was definitely, anytime I had a question, anytime, anything, I could just go to him, he'd let me know. And obviously I would first do my own due diligence, exert everything I could, and when I couldn't find the answer, Chad was right there and very, very, very helpful. So I believe, though, that's something definitely that I was able to take with me to the AZDOHS.
Excellent, thank you. And I actually had a follow-up in that, but you answered it, so I'm going to move on. Well done. Look at these guys. Mabel, so let's take a step back. Before you got this role, what was your relationship with cybersecurity? Did you always know you wanted to do this?
So I didn't always know I wanted to do cyber. I have always been in love with technology and computers ever since I was a child, really. And most of my adult life has been spent in IT as far as my profession goes. I never really considered cyber until I was starting to get bored with IT, honestly. I was starting to kind of reach some limits, and I realized I was not satisfied with where I was and my skill set at the time. And so cyber seemed like a really natural next step, because in my free time, I like working on what we call a home lab. I have computers set up at home that I'm just constantly tinkering with and working on different projects and stuff like that. And I had been doing that long before I even considered cyber. And when I started to dig into it just a little bit more, I realized I had already been doing cybersecurity the whole time. And it was something that I was passionate about, passionate enough to, do it in my own free time at home and not just as part of my job or part of my studies or anything.
Thank you. Eric, how do you approach mentoring interns who may have varying levels of experience or different learning styles?
That's the $1 million question, right? How do you train someone up with all the different backgrounds that they come with, especially when we're talking about community college students. I think the last time I checked at Pima Community College, where a lot of our analysts came from, a lot of our cyber interns came from there, the average age was 28 years old. So that means that you have a lot of people that already come with a lot of experience from probably something completely different to what you're doing. But there's a way to make all of their experience, regardless of how different it is to what you do in cybersecurity or IT, there's a way to apply that. So it's all about finding where their strengths are and try to find an analog or something where you can apply that in cybersecurity. Especially when it comes to cybersecurity, much more than a lot of the other tech fields, and I'm sure somebody would disagree with me. But in cybersecurity, it's a lot of it is people, right? A lot of it is people work. You're working with individuals. We have a joke that the weakest cybersecurity element in the industry is a human being, right? That you can trick into clicking links and downloading things and downloading the free Roblox application and running it, right? So when you can make people see that, and almost everybody has some kind of, some experience with dealing with human beings in whatever industry they're coming from, or school if they're not coming from the workforce, there's a way to link that to what we're doing today. And in more practical terms, another thing that we do also is we focus a lot on projects that we prototype projects within the RSOC. We deploy new systems, we test new automation within a little sandbox environment so that we can also close some of the technical gaps. Because obviously we talk a lot about the human element, there's a lot of that, but there's still the technical aspect of it. And some analysts come with, some of our cyber interns come with a lot of technical knowledge that is very impressive. And some don't. So how do we bring them up to speed? Well, one person that is very technical can mentor another one that is not so technical if they want to learn about that. And because we have, thanks to our partnership with the community colleges, so far Every single one of the RSOCs, as far as I know, has had the opportunity to have a sandbox environment where we can test new technologies, and we can help our cyber interns grow in technical areas that they want to grow in.
Excellent, thank you. Peyton, the cyber world changes by the minute. How do you keep up with the latest online threats while still balancing your coursework and daily life?
So, I have not really struggled with keeping up with the changing threats and also keeping up with my coursework and daily life, because at this RSOC, I've been provided with the opportunity to work and learn about these threats while working as part of my workflow. So whenever I see a detection, work with other people, we are studying it, we're reading articles about it, we're understanding what it's doing in the environment, and we are able to learn exactly how these threats operate in real life and new ones that crop up in environments. And so it has not been a challenge whatsoever for me to be able to keep up with that and also keep up with my things outside of work.
Excellent, thank you. And Ivan, even with your background, every security environment has its own quirks. What is something new you have had to learn or adapt to since joining the RSOC team?
Thank you for the question. Yes, so I would say adjust and adapt to the new user interface. Using two different tools and finding all the, like everywhere I need to look for to find the information I'm looking for. So that would be it.
Thank you. Back to Mabel. When the pressure is on, okay, and your team is trying to solve a tough puzzle, how do you all work together to find a solution?
So I've been really fortunate. My team is actually incredible. I've been really, really lucky to get to lean on them because everyone at the RSOC here at GCC, aside from myself, was part of the GSOC prior. So they all have extensive experience, and I've been really, really lucky to get to lean on them in that regard. And whenever we tackle difficult problems, it actually works out really well just naturally. We tend to split off into different directions without necessarily needing to coordinate who does what. And anytime someone finds something interesting, we relay it back and often use it as a starting point to dig even further into the problem. And on the off chance that we are stepping on each other's toes a little bit, there's a really, really cool sort of rotational leadership aspect to the RSOC as well, where every single day someone different is the point of contact. And they will be the sort of the de facto lead for the SOC whenever it's their turn. And so, yeah, in those scenarios where we're stepping on each other's toes and getting in each other's way, whoever point of contact is can then delegate certain tasks to make sure that we are working as efficiently as possible to overcome the problem.
Thank you for that. Eric, back to you. How do you facilitate communication between the Central and South RSOCs and the AZDOHS?
So that is something that we're continuously improving upon, right? Until a couple months ago, there was one RSOC and one RSOC only. A lot of what we've been doing is we've been focusing a lot on report writing, and we're focusing a lot on making sure that those reports are easy to find and to provide as much context for every single one as possible. So some of the things that we do, for instance, at the South RSOC that we started very early on is we created like a wiki, a manual of all the different threats we see, excluding the customers. And when we got the new RSOCs up and running, they were also taking advantage of this manual because a lot of the things that they were seeing were similar to the things that we're seeing. But then also a way that this has helped the AZDOHS is that AZDOHS has the SOC at AZDOHS, excuse me, has a lot more work than the individual RSOCs have, and they have less analysts than the RSOC has. So we were able to leverage our extra time doing research on some of these threats and finding commonalities between them, so that by the time AZDOHS got to see those threats, they already had pages upon pages of information about it. And also, we had already done some of the finding the commonalities and the similar behaviors from different malware, if you will, so that we know that they're all related.
Thank you. Peyton, cyber threats don't come with an instruction manual. What do you do when you encounter a vague or confusing situation?
Well, I would say that most situations tend to be confusing and vague. So, the first thing you do whenever you are encountering a threat, especially new ones, because those are the ones that are the hardest to solve, is you take in all of the information available. Detections give you information that you can use to inform your next decisions. So using that to inform your next decision, taking in where it's from, what's causing the detection, who it's being caused by, all of that, can inform you which next steps to take. And, sorry, what was the rest of the question?
So the question was, how do you decide your next move when you're in a vague or confusing situation?
Yeah, take in all of the information, and if it's still not enough to figure out what you should do, how you should qualify it with its severity and all of those things, you can always contact your site leads, people from other SOCs. Everybody here works together to figure those things out. And so just taking in all of the information to inform your next decision, and if you can't do it, then just contact those who are there to help you and work with you as well.
Excellent, thank you. Mabel, in your role, you often have to explain cyber threats to people who aren't tech savvy. How do you take a complex security issue and explain it so a business owner or client easily understands it?
So this is something I've had a lot of experience with just in my previous IT roles. If any of you have ever worked IT before in a small team, you'll know what that's like, especially having to work directly with clients, like putting my hands on their computer when they have no clue what's actually gone wrong. Personally, I found that the best strategy is using analogies, right? Rather than bogging people down with a bunch of technical jargon, I try to analogize the situation into something a little bit more normal and realistic that, you know, your average person would encounter in their everyday life. And I found that that's been extremely effective in getting on the same page with people who may not be as technical.
Great answer. Ivan, looking back at your entire journey across both spaces, what has been your biggest takeaway regarding the actual impact this work has on local Arizona institutions and our community?
Yes, I would say like a great example would be not too long ago, the AZDOHS actually got an email from one of our clients thanking us for how quickly we were able to respond to a detection. And even though it wasn't us directly, the way everyone emphasizes the one team, one fight thing is it's very genuine and it's very true. Us collaborating with each other in the RSOC, it's amazing. You gain so much knowledge, and just seeing that email and them like reading it to us, that made me feel so good because it actually makes you feel like you're actually making a difference, and just seeing that acknowledgement was amazing.
Thank you for that. And Eric, you get to bring it on in. Knowing that the cyber interns are students, how have you built trust with the community and stakeholders when providing service?
That is a great question, and this is something that I feel very strongly about, is that when given the chance to a student to do real work, you will be impressed. Usually, everybody that we work with wants to do a good job. They are passionate about what they're doing, and not only that, we're giving students an opportunity to not only work in the industry, get their first job in cybersecurity, which is so incredibly difficult. We're also giving them an opportunity to help protect the communities that they come from. We're giving them an opportunity to protect their home, the state of Arizona. So I am very happy to tell you that all of our cyber interns have expressed that they're proud of the work that they do. And so when you have that, when you have somebody who is driven, who is passionate, and who knows, they're being offered the opportunity to do something good for their community, they will impress you. They will do an excellent job, and they will do their very best to make sure that the quality of the product they're offering is the utmost quality. So the lesson to learn from this is that even though we can call this a risk. We took a risk by hiring cyber interns, right? By hiring students. It's a very low risk, and the reward has been tremendous. The results speak for themselves, and our customers are very happy. And it's all about giving people a chance, giving people a chance to show that they can do the work, and that they take pride in their work.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. And we actually have a few more minutes, so we can take a moment to open up any questions that anyone might have for the interns or myself on the material you've touched on here or the RSOC in general. Hi.
Thank you. Great. Question being, your average Maricopa Community College student is in their first year of enrollment. At what point, and they're into the cybersecurity, let's say CCL or associates, at what point could they be considered for an internship? Upon completion of the certificate or the associates, or immediately?
That's an excellent question. So right now our policy is they have to be a sophomore or better. Now, in my opinion, there are plenty of students who are coming out of high school with the basic knowledge that we need them to have, technical knowledge, to perform well at the job. Because it's a matter of just having some basic technical knowledge. I mean, we say basic within the context of cybersecurity, right? I'm not expecting everybody to be born knowing this stuff. But right now, our hard requirement so far, I'm not sure if this will change, is they have to be a sophomore.
Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Couldn't see it. Great question. Yes, absolutely. We do advisory boards quite frequently. We always listen to the community because we want to make sure that our students leaving here are meeting the needs of what our community needs. So we want to make sure that we're always keeping up to date with the demands that they're facing, and we use that advice as we inform our programs and make changes to make sure they're current.
Also at Pima Community College, Joshua Kuipers, the RSOC manager, Eduardo Varela, my peer site leader, and myself are in the advisory board for Pima Community College.
Okay.
I can shout out.
Okay.
That's a quick one. Is there can you speak into a Northern Arizona, a Northern RSOC coming soon?
Yes, we're starting plans right now to implement an RSOC in the northern part and even additional ones throughout the state as the program develops. But it's a little soon to I think, relaying details. I think we have some plans coming together, but stay tuned and we'll have more.
We actually do have, it'll be within the next few months. We have Jennifer over here in the back. I'll point you out. She's working with us over at Northland Pioneer College. So NPC, we're actually going to be considering it what we like to call the Cyber Dome. So it's going to be covering the entire northern region. Because it is rural, it's going to be less students. So each location we currently have right now, all three, is 10 cyber interns at each site. Granted, I'm working on backfilling at this time. That is our goal, 10 at each site. However, for Northland Pioneer College, we'll have 5 at that location, 1 site lead, and all 5 plus the site lead will actually be remote. So if you know anyone, I am taking resumes soon. So it should be within the next few months. We did finally get all of the contracting and everything signed. So next step is to begin the hiring process, and then we launch.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you, everyone. And thank you guys for coming up and answering these questions. I appreciate it. At this time, I'd like to introduce Dr. Sean Petty, who is the Dean of Instruction at Paradise Valley Community College, who will come up and have some remarks.
It's still morning. Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. I am Sean Petty, Dean of Instruction at Paradise Valley Community College. I'd like to just take this time to thank all of you who came out here today to support this effort, our state legislators, our city officials, and everybody else who has come and take time. Thank you, Dr. Schwartz and Dr. Hernandez, for your support during this effort. But there's also some folks I want to also recognize, and we've heard a lot from our interns today, and they are amazing, and they're going to do amazing things. But in order for any of this to work, it takes people. Just like it was said here before, people are the system that we're protecting. The machines and the computers, those are just buildings and objects. So could my PV team please stand and rise so you can be recognized for the hard work you guys did. The firewall configurations. The firewall configurations, getting everything set up, the intergovernmental agreement, these are all things that had to happen before we saw these souls in this room. So all of these folks collaborating and working together made this happen. When we started this program at Paradise Valley Community College in 2019, I remember we had one computer class and they were teaching Windows 7. I was like, oh my God, this is not gonna work. So we decided, let's bring in security professionals, let's bring in people from industry, and let's put together a curriculum, and let's teach a program that's taught by folks who work for Honeywell, people who work for Scottsdale Police Department, people who work in the industry to offer the skills that are necessary for these students to be successful. But there's a missing component to this, and it was been mentioned earlier, that without some type of connection into the real world, it becomes very difficult for a student to succeed, even when they leave a four-year institution. They say within 9 months, if a student hasn't been placed within a job in cybersecurity, the likelihood of them getting a job in cybersecurity falls to about half of 50%. So it's vitally important that we're connecting folks with these opportunities. And I really am grateful for Department of Homeland Security's, Arizona Department of Homeland Security's efforts and them being willing to have us here at PV be part of this partnership. So again, I just want to say thank you, and this is great, and I want to see greater things in the future. So.
What? You're good, you're good. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Sean Petty. I appreciate that. Again, I'm Laura Collegia with the Arizona Department of Homeland Security, project manager contractor. I just want to take the time to say thank you to our incredible colleagues from Glendale and Paradise Valley Community Colleges. Your insights perfectly highlight why this partnership is so vital and how deeply rooted the RSOC is in our shared community and our mission. I want to close out by thanking a number of people for their leadership guidance, support, and passion, all of which contributed to the creation of the Central RSOC. Rochelle with Glendale Community College, thank you for being the ultimate brain organizer. C's get rough from time to time, but our teamwork definitely helped us stay mission first. Dr. Sean Petty and Alexander, over in the blue, with Paradise Valley Community College, thank you for an unmatched response rate, no matter the time of day, night, midnight, 1 a.m., they responded, so thank you very much for that. From our AZDOHS project team, Josh Kuipers, who you met earlier, the RSOC manager, Alexandra, who's hiding in the back, our project coordinator, and our own Kelsey Blazier, she's our communications manager. I consider you all the dream team, so thank you. And of course, everybody that took the time here to celebrate with us today, I thank you for your support. Distinguished guests and partners, as we bring this historic event to a close, I stand here filled with an immense sense of pride and gratitude. Standing up a regional security operations center and bringing a hard launch like this to completion is a massive undertaking, and it takes relentless dedication, navigating endless hurdles, and a whole lot of grit. I want to look directly at the core project team and our partners here at GCC and PVCC. Take a moment to look around at what you have built. This is your success. When the pressure was on, you stayed focused on the mission, and you pushed us across the finish line. Can our core project team please stand, and let's give them a round of applause. Nobody stood. One person stood. Kelsey, better stand next to. But if you would like to see the true heartbeat of this entire operation, we do need to look at our RSOC students. Can all of our RSOC cyber interns who are here today from GCC, from PVCC, and from Pima County Community College, please stand up, because I would like to give you all a round of applause. The Maricopa County Community College District RSOC is so much more than just a room filled with advanced technology and impressive monitors. It's a shield for our community, a premier training ground, and a beacon of innovation. Today, we didn't just open a center. We launched critical capability that will safeguard our digital future. And as a project manager, I'm always looking at the timeline. During this entire show, I've been doing so. Launch is not just the finish line. This truly is just the beginning. The real work, the real impact, and the real growth begins first thing tomorrow morning, bright and early. To everybody here today, guests, stakeholders, and community champions in the room, thank you for standing with us and believing in this vision. We invite you to stay locked in with us as we enter this next chapter. Thank you all so much for being here to celebrate this milestone. Please enjoy the rest of the reception, and let's get to work. Thank you. Next, we're not done yet. Sorry, please take your seats. Next, I'd like to introduce Ryan Murray. Ryan Murray is our Deputy Director here at the Arizona Department of Homeland Security. Come on up, Ryan.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Sean. Thank you again, everyone else, for being here. Sorry for the complication. You don't get to leave just yet. Thank you to our interpreters. I will try to slow down a little bit. Sorry to cram this into 2 minutes. Wow. It's absolutely amazing to see how far we've come. It's Dr. Hernandez, Rochelle, it's crazy to think that it was almost exactly 3 years ago to the day that we were in this exact room launching the GSOC. And hey, look, I actually remembered my Gaucho hat this time. So, kind of like that guy. Sorry, Dr. Schwartz, sorry, Sean. My Puma costume is in the cleaners. I'll bring it for the next event, I'm sorry. So, those who were here for that event on that lovely August morning, you may remember what I said. I said I want to take the idea, this brilliant idea of the GSOC, and I want to use it as a blueprint to stamp out across the entire rest of the state. And not even a year later, the White House was so impressed with this idea that they brought the National Cyber Director out here and his team to see what Arizona was doing, what you guys were doing, because they were excited about it too. And we talked through our vision for the RSOC, the expanded version of what we're launching today, and they asked somewhat impatiently, well, so when are the rest of these going to be launched? And they knew even then how impactful this work would be. So as the director said, we set out to be a model for the state of Arizona, and frankly speaking, we become a model for the nation. We saw the excitement as we convened almost a dozen other states here back in May, and they were all fascinated by this idea. I frequently speak to the me's of other states, and frankly speaking, they're envious. We've taken this model and we've evolved it, we've expanded it to cover 2 new schools, putting students directly to work to support hundreds of our local governments and schools in their cybersecurity journey. What's even more exciting, as you've heard from several of our other speakers, the model is working. Many of you have heard me speak about this in the past, and I used to say there's no such thing as an entry-level cybersecurity person, that you have to have some foundational knowledge, you have to have experience. And I am absolutely blessed to be proven wrong every single day by our RSOC students. They are actively protecting our state. Eric even said he's seeing it happen within 2 to 3 weeks of training. We don't need to take months or years, fancy certifications. Degrees are fantastic, but we're putting students directly to work. And we're also pushing them out to get jobs and continue to be part of the Arizona cybersecurity community. Going all the way back to the first cohort in the GSOC, shout out to Sarah. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today, but she's directly hired into our team as a full-time cybersecurity policy analyst within our risk and compliance team. Ivan, it's fantastic to see you continuing your RSOC journey as another GSOC student. Ed, who started as an RSOC intern and is now co-managing our South Region RSOC for us. And of course, our most recent success, as Eric mentioned, Kenzie, who helped to launch the PCC RSOC, was just recently hired in a job with Tucson Electric Power, where she's going to go protect our critical infrastructure for our state. And Eric, I hadn't heard that part about the salary. That's freaking awesome. So I'm excited about our current successes, but I'm even more inspired by our future. I'm proud of the students who've gone through the program. I'm energized by the idea of hundreds more working together to protect our state and our country. There are so many people to thank, and I know many of the speakers before me and after me are going to do a much better job of remembering to catch them all, but I just want to start with a few. Director O'Connor, your long career in Homeland Security provides the perspective to know what's at stake here. You and I get to talk about this all the time, and it's clear that you truly understand how important this program is, not just in protecting our state, but in serving as an example to our country. And I think I speak for all of us when I say I truly appreciate your steadfast support. Thank you to the colleges, and frankly to the cities, the counties, and the schools that we're supporting for your trust. None of this would work without you guys believing in this program. When your belief in the students and the support of the collective defense of our entire state, it's instrumental in making this a success. And thank you, of course, to the rest of the Homeland Security team. That includes all of you in the RSOC. You're going to get tired of this, but can you guys please stand up and get a round of applause again? Let's do it. Let's get your leg workout in. You guys are the dream team. Thank you guys again. Your tireless work and incredible hard work, often behind the scenes, is really what sets the foundation for this program. And finally, Rochelle, you and the GCC team are gracious hosts today. Thank you for your infinite patience and unwavering support as we work to get this thing up and running. Thank you for believing in the vision and trusting us to help raise the bar together. And it only seems appropriate to turn it over to you to close us out for today. So thank you, Rochelle. Please come join us. Thank you.
We did it. We finally did it. Now I got to find where I'm between you and the door, so you have to be nice. Thank you, Ryan. It has been a pleasure working with you and with everybody. The whole Homeland Security team has been awesome. I think together we've really accomplished what we set out to do. So the partnership with AZDOHS is important to our students and for the state of Arizona as we bridge the pathway building the future cybersecurity workforce for our state. There's a bunch of people I would like to thank, of course. Again, like I said, it was 3 years ago today that we were standing up here. Well, not today. Actually, it was August 23rd, so we're off a little bit. But 3 years ago that we did all this, and we thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be great. But there's a lot of different people that need to be recognized for the work that they've done and the support and foundation they gave us for this. The GSOC
and now the RSOC is not only run by students, but it's also by alumni. When we opened the GSOC, we actually hired our lead analyst, who is Chad, our lead engineer, who is Drew. These were both GCC cybersecurity graduates. They went on to get their further education at U of A, and then they came back and now they work at GCC. So that just shows you the type of family that people want to raise and want to have around when we're doing things like this. So thank you both for doing that. I really, really appreciate it all. A shout out to our GCC administration for believing in this program, for supporting us even when our ideas were a little out there. Dr. Laura Kanapka, our VPAA, for your patience and guidance pushing this program forward. And now we're going to be able to open up another program, and the little rumor around here about the cyber intelligence and systems security bachelor's degree that we will be launching in fall of 28, not February. Not going to do that. Dr. Tiffany Hernandez, who, as I stated earlier, was thrown into the GSOC fire just a few weeks after starting GCC as our president. She jumped in with both feet, just full support from day one. So thank you for that as well, and your leadership through that. Dr. Susan Campbell, my dean, she's my rock. The rock behind all of this. We could not have accomplished this without your support. With your leadership, trust, belief, that grew this program from an idea that we put down on a piece of paper to a plan that we actually made happen and what it is today. So I would really like to thank all of them for everything that they've done. And of course, the interns, I'm not going to make you stand again, but you are the backbone of this program. Without you, your dedication to cybersecurity, we wouldn't have this program. So thank you, and we are going to be calling on you as you progress through your careers, because we want to make sure that our program is current and up to date. So we're going to be calling you back. I think John mentioned that earlier. It's like, oh, that's a great lead-in. But yes, we are going to be wanting to hear your voice to make sure that our program is the best that it can possibly be for our people. Amy, Gladys, Brent, everybody, all the people that volunteered to make this happen. I had people from our department, other departments, faculty came in during the summer, which, of course, remember, we're on break. But they all came in, put forward, and really made this happen for us. So hats off to you guys, all of you, for all your help. As we start this new journey, I look forward to the future growth in this story and all of the chapters we're going to write along the way. So thank you all for being here. And I've got one more thing, and then I promise I will let you go. A little birdie told me that there is a birthday in the house today. So would you like to join us in a happy birthday rendition for Laura, our project manager that made this happen? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Laura. Happy birthday to you. Thank you all for joining us. We have quite a few snacks in the back. Some of you signed up to take a tour now that didn't get into the RSOC tour earlier. So feel free, visit, and take some snacks, because we have a lot. Thank you all. Have a great evening.